Alright, what's up everyone, I'm Loki, and over the past few days, Jamal Adams has said multiple times on social media that he wants JADEVEON CLOWNEY to sign to the Seattle Seahawks, and today I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Before that though, I just wanted to thank everyone for over 1,900 subscribers. I'm pretty sure in the last video we had just hit over 1,700, so the growth between then and now is absolutely insane, and I can't thank everyone enough. And one last thing before we get into the video. I got a new background thing. Looks pretty good in my opinion, but you know, the background is not final. Obviously, the Marshawn Lynch jersey is not there. All the little things are not on the wall anymore, so I'm still trying to rearrange the wall, but, you know, nice little banner to go in the background, something that's actually kind of there. But now to get into the video, Jamal Adams has stated multiple times on social media that he wants JADEVEON CLOWNEY to re-sign with the Seattle Seahawks. In response to a tweet telling JADEVEON CLOWNEY that now that Jamal Adams is on the Seattle Seahawks, they're probably the best place to go and try to get a ring, Jamal Adams said no question about it. Obviously, this could be Jamal Adams saying that the Seahawks are legit Super Bowl contenders now that they have him, but there's also a video from his Instagram live where he basically straight up told JADEVEON CLOWNEY to re-sign with the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Jamal Adams trade, and by no means am I saying that Jamal Adams is causing any problems by doing this. I am just not a big fan of the idea of signing JADEVEON CLOWNEY. Now, obviously, JADEVEON CLOWNEY is a good player, and he's probably going to get the money from another team. He might even get the money from the Seahawks, and he'll probably play pretty well for whatever team he goes to. But honestly, me personally, from watching him last year, he doesn't seem worth anything over like 10 million, and he wants upwards of 20. So I just think that unless we can get him on a one-year cheap deal with not too much guaranteed, I don't think it's a good fit. Now, there's probably a bunch of advanced stats that'll tell you that JADEVEON CLOWNEY is an amazing pass rusher, and honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. Obviously, the man's got to be doing something right to be getting double-teamed almost every single play, and obviously getting double-teamed is going to hinder your ability to get to the quarterback. But honestly, when I was watching the games last year as a Seahawks fan, just watching him, he had amazing games which were like, man, he can do this every single game. He can be a great player. He can make a huge difference. But then some games it looked like he was just there and he wasn't really even trying to make moves towards the quarterback, and he really just didn't do much. And I mean, that could be me being an absolutely feeble-minded football fan, just not understanding the, you know, specifics of pass rush and stuff like that. But just me watching it, I was kind of disappointed some games, and I was really excited some games. Obviously, JADEVEON CLOWNEY is a great player. He had that amazing game against the 49ers, I believe, but then he had like really bad games where he just didn't do anything, like I said. And it's just difficult for me to be willing to give him 15 million or upwards, because he's not taking a $15 million contract right now. He said he wants more than 20 million. I don't think he's going to get that, but anywhere over 15 for someone who seems so inconsistent is just so not good to me. Last year in 13 games, JADEVEON CLOWNEY had 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 13 quarterback hits. Now, these stats are all right, but for someone asking for $20 million, this is just not good enough. Now, obviously, he's getting double-teamed a lot, and there are definitely going to be advanced stats that'll tell you that he plays way better than the stats actually show, but someone asking for $20 million, you have to actually show when it comes down to stats and quarterback hits. Someone comparable in the money situation, obviously, the contracts will be structured differently, but Aaron Donald, 6-year, $134 million, right around $22 million, not too far off of what JADEVEON CLOWNEY is asking for. This last season, people were talking about him falling off and he just wasn't having as big of an impact as he had before, but he still had 12.5 sacks while probably getting every single bit of focus of the offensive linemen of every single team he played against. He did play 3 more games, so maybe JADEVEON CLOWNEY would have had 9.5 sacks in the last 3 games that he didn't play. But you know, I'm just saying, if you're going to be asking somewhere comparable to Aaron Donald type of money, you better be able to put up the stats. And obviously Aaron Donald is going to be getting double teamed a lot, but he is still able to easily put up 12.5 sacks in a quote-unquote bad year for a lot of people, and he had 24 quarterback hits. He didn't have the amount of forced fumbles, he only had 2, but still, sacks and quarterback hits, and just getting to the quarterback constantly and creating pressure. Obviously, JADEVEON CLOWNEY does create a lot of pressure. I'm pretty sure there's an advanced stat that I saw that he creates like upwards of top 10 in the league in quarterback pressure, but still, if you're going to be asking for over $20 million within $3 million of Aaron Donald per year, you have to be able to put up stats relatively comparable, and he just does not do that. Now, some of you watching this video right now might be thinking, well, we just traded for Jamal Adams, we're going to have no money this year. And honestly, I thought the same thing, but interestingly enough, including Bradley McDougall in the Jamal Adams trade actually saved us money. I think it was around $1.6 million that it saved us, and now Seattle as a team has $17 million in cap space left. Now, this $17 million doesn't include the money that we're going to be giving to rookies because we don't know their deals yet. I believe the Jordan Brooks deal that isn't included in this, it takes away the $1.6 million that we saved in the trade, so we're going to be right around $15 million, maybe a little bit less, maybe around $13 or $12 million after the rookie signings. Now, this money could possibly go to signing JADEVEON CLOWNEY on a relatively cheap one-year deal, but what I'd rather see this money used for would be signing Josh Gordon and Everson Griffen. Josh Gordon should be getting a decision made by the league on his reinstatement within the next couple of weeks, and there have been things that have said that the Seattle Seahawks want to try and get Josh Gordon back, and Josh Gordon has said multiple things on social media about wanting to go back to Seattle. I made a whole video on it if you want to go and check that out. When it comes to Everson Griffen, apparently he hasn't been getting a lot of interest in free agency, and I honestly think he'd be a really good one-year veteran option to bring into Seattle and help the pass rush for much cheaper than JADEVEON CLOWNEY would be. Last year in 15 games, Everson Griffen had 8 sacks and 24 quarterback hits, better than JADEVEON CLOWNEY statistically. Obviously, JADEVEON CLOWNEY's probably getting double teamed a lot more than Everson Griffen, and there's probably advanced stats that'll tell you that JADEVEON CLOWNEY has much better quarterback pressure than Everson Griffen, but for probably a third or less of the price, Everson Griffen would be a great option to come in and probably bring a pretty big impact to the Seahawks pass rush this season. Finally, to wrap the video up, Jamal Adams has been trying to persuade JADEVEON CLOWNEY to sign with the Seattle Seahawks, and obviously JADEVEON CLOWNEY is a great player, but for the amount of money that he wants, I think that it's a much better option to go for Josh Gordon and Everson Griffen, and maybe even like a Ziggy Ansah that's available, I believe. And, you know, instead of spending big money on one player that seems to be very inconsistent, go out and sign multiple veterans on one-year deals that can help bring impact. Maybe not the biggest of impact, but they'll bring impact in multiple different places. And rather than just spending all your money in one place on JADEVEON CLOWNEY, who is injury prone and is pretty inconsistent. And obviously, I mean, JADEVEON CLOWNEY would be a cool option to get. He'd be a fun, you know, big name player to try to bring to our defense with, you know, Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, Bobby Wagner, Shaquille Griffin, Trey Flowers. Quinn Dunbar isn't actually going to play, apparently. I don't know. I might make a video on that, but there's some weird legal problems with him. But, you know, JADEVEON CLOWNEY, bringing him in, he'd be a big name player in the pass rush, but I don't know how much of an impact he'd actually make compared to someone like Everson Griffen or any other of the more veteran options in the pass rush and free agency. And, you know, I think the Seattle Seahawks, there's a chance they could sign, you know, JADEVEON CLOWNEY to try to make a big push for the Super Bowl. And I think JADEVEON CLOWNEY might want to actually sign with the Seahawks because they are definitely Super Bowl contenders now, but me personally, I would not like to see it. I would like to see us go after Everson Griffen, Josh Gordon. Like I said, I think those are two players that'll bring impacts at some pretty big positions. And I think that that's definitely the better option. JADEVEON CLOWNEY, I mean, I'd welcome him. As a Seahawks fan, I'd be like, you know, all right, JADEVEON CLOWNEY, prove yourself. And I'd be willing to support him. I wouldn't, you know, hate him or anything, but I think that there are definitely better options than spending all your money on JADEVEON CLOWNEY. That's just my opinion, though. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the potential of JADEVEON CLOWNEY coming back to Seattle. Seattle definitely does have potentially the money to bring him back if he wants to be a little bit cheaper than $20 million a year. But I personally think Everson Griffen, Josh Gordon, better options. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my second channel. Follow me on Twitch. Birthday stream July 31st. Subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed. Give away at 2,000 subscribers. Like the video if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.